Hello, Creative Hearts. Happy Saturday. I have the house to myself this afternoon, so I wanted to pop in and see you guys and share a little bit about my word of the year visioning this week, whole brain visioning, because it's really takes a lot of the left brain and the right brain from me usually when I do this in the beginning of the year. Although I love intuition and right brain creativity, I also really love writing and figuring things out and jotting down definitions and charting my course and all of that kind of stuff too. So I wanted to just pop in and share what I've been up to. And if you guys have chosen a word of the year, share that with me in the comments. If you're thinking about a few words but you haven't chosen it yet, no worries. I'm actually really ahead of the game, or yeah, I'm ahead of the game this year. I think last year it was mid-January when I chose my word, and that was because I did a word of the year painting workshop. Usually I don't even choose it till like February because I like to simmer. I like to think about things and let it simmer and look for signs and, you know, just sort of play in that space of what do I want this year to look and feel like. This year I had some words pretty quickly. They kind of were words I was simmering on last year but didn't go with, and they just feel more strongly that it was for this year. So I had started with a few of those words and worked through that. If you have never done this before and you want to do it, I do have in the files of this creative group, I created a PDF file that you can download and print and fill out some inquiry for your word of the year. And maybe you're more spontaneous and you don't want to go through all that, and that's cool too. But if you're like me and you like to have a little bit of that left brain thinking going on, the word of the year workshop, the word of the year worksheet is a good place to start. I actually used it in my workshop last year. So I wanted to share with you a little bit more about that. And if you're here and you want to say hello, let me know you're here and where you're from, and if you've chosen a word of the year or if you're still thinking. So one of the first questions on the word of the year inquiry sheet is, what word do you want to embody this year? And this is really why I love the word of the year and why I like picking a word rather than resolutions, because it sort of can just encompass so many different things, and it's really based on how I want to feel. More than specific goals, because I found when I choose a word of how I want to feel, my goals change throughout the year. They may be very different in January from what they are in May or June, and then again change, in September or October. But the word can carry through, and the word and that feeling can kind of morph and change with you instead of it just being a static resolution or goal that you're looking to obtain. Sometimes my word comes through by the end of the year very similar to what I expected. My word for 2017 was presence, and it was really, I just really wanted to be more present. I wanted to be I wanted to have less worry and anxiety about thinking about the future, and I didn't want to get super stuck in things that have happened in the past, and I just felt like the word presence would be the perfect place for me to focus last year, and to really kind of pull myself out of some dark areas that have happened in 2016 and a little bit in the beginning of 2017 too. So that was my word, and it was beautiful, and it didn't stay the same. Like I said, in the beginning of the year, I really used it as a way to ground myself and to get myself out of either a worry state or a depressive state, and just be present and realize that I was safe and happy and secure in that moment. But then as the year went on and I didn't have as much of those dark caves, it changed, and I ended up joining a creativity course and became a creativity coach last year, and that process was 6 months long, and my word really grounded me then too, because I wanted to be present in that process, and I wanted to be present for myself and going through those motions and all of the prompts and stuff that I had to do in that course. And so that's how your word can sort of ebb and flow, so to speak. So for me, I want to embody this year, I want to embody lightness. I want to embody lightness of being. I want to shine. Some of my, quote, supporting words are all based on that. Radiant and vibrant and shining and light. So that is where I am at. I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure in the beginning of when I first started this. Does that make sense? Does that word really work for me? And that's where things like the word of the year inquiry, my left brain fun stuff, really came into effect, because I could write down all of the words like shine and vibrant and radiant, and then I was able to go and look up the definitions and get a real clear idea of what each of those words truly means at its core and how that relates to me. And then it could really, I actually should write this on the inquiry, because I did this on my own, but I didn't put it on here. I think I might add this. I decided to put I am in front of each word that I was thinking of. So I am light, I am radiant, I am vibrant, I am shining, and I wanted to see how it felt when I put I am in front of it. And, did that word really feel stronger to me, or did it feel less like how I wanted to feel for the year? So that's what I've been up to. Also, just to stay in the left brain still for a moment, I love this free download that Susanna Conway does every year. I know it might be backwards on there, but it's called Unravel Your Year, and you can go to susannaconway.com to get your own copy and download and print it out. That's spelled SUSANNAHCONWAY. And it's really a nice way to look back at your year, 2017. She asks some really great questions that get you thinking about your year and how it sort of shaped up and what worked and what didn't work and how you feel about all that. And then she's got a little section about finding your word as well. She also has a email, I think it's an email program, also free. It's 5 days, and it's a lot more in depth. So if you really want to go dig deeper for your word, you can sign up for her Find Your Word email series too. And I think over a course of 5 days, she sends you something. And I have nothing, I don't know who Susanna Conway is personally, but I absolutely love this download, and I have done it this is my 4th year of doing it, and I just wanted to share that is out there, and it's free, and it's available to you from her. It's, I haven't gone into the 2008 section yet. I've just been playing with finishing out my 2017 year and putting all that in there. It's a great way too. I think the biggest challenge I usually have at the end of year is celebrating the things that really happened. We're always moving and going forward and looking for the next step, that I do struggle with stopping and acknowledging all that did happen. And I feel like going through something like this really makes me think about, and I look back at my Instagram feed, I look back at things that I've done, because I really don't remember. It's terrible, but I really don't remember. And it gets me looking back and seeing what's there, and being able to give myself a chance to celebrate all that has happened and has transpired. As well as there are, those things that just stink too. And it's good to get that off your chest and let go of those things before you move into the new year. So after all of my fun left brain activity, then I start to play with a little more of the right brain stuff before I solidify exactly what my word is. I like to make sure I use my whole brain and do a little bit of the right brain stuff. So one of the ways I've been tapping into my right brain has been Oracle deck cards this year. I just bought, the end of 2017, I bought my first 2 decks, and really having fun with them. So I share in the group, I shared earlier today, 2 spreads of 3 cards. If you guys want to play along and pick a number, you can do it on both pictures for both of the decks, or you can do it on just one of the decks, whichever one is calling to you more, to see what arises for you and see if there's anything there that helps you on your journey of finding your word of the year. So the 2 decks that I got this year are Keepers of the Light, which, is pretty funny that I ended up with Keepers of the Light, because at this point it was like October or November, I think I ordered it, and I wasn't quite yet thinking about my word of the year, and it turns out that I absolutely love this deck. It's really, really gorgeous, and everything I've pulled from it so far has been so spot on, and it really almost solidifies my word to me even more. Then the second one I got is Earth Magic. And this one is a little more earthy, obviously. And I'm still kind of feeling this one out. But I love Earth Magic. I love Mother Nature. I love painting nature. I love being outside. All of that stuff. So just to me, looking at the stars, following the moon, watching the leaves blow in the wind, hearing the birds, all those things just like really touch me deeply. So this one felt like a really good deck as well for me to pick up as my 2 first. So that said, when I really asked both of them what my word of the year message should be, and I've been thinking about the word light and vibrant and radiant and shine. Those are really the 4, even though they're all very similar. Those were the 4 I was trying to kind of work through. These are the cards I pulled. I really can't believe it. The first one I pulled from the Keepers of the Light was Sanat Kumara, and his message is light activation. And he says, shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. And I just about lost it. When I got that card, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on the right path here. I'm really on the right path. And then when I pulled, and really I didn't do this on purpose. It's really kind of shocking to me. And then when I pulled the Earth Magic card, this was in the same day. I did them pretty back to back, I guess. I don't remember if I took a break. I might have taken a break in between it. But yeah, so I pulled the Radiance card from Earth Magic. So there it is. So I'm excited to see what you guys choose, what numbers you choose, and if they have any relationship to what you're thinking about, or if you're just looking for some fresh guidance and haven't really thought about it at all. So go ahead and take a look at those 2 pictures I put up earlier today, and I will share them with you guys a little later tonight. So the other thing I'm working on, and I'm gonna flip you guys down onto my workspace now, is vision boarding. So I've been playing and cutting things out of magazines, as well as going through my sort of, what do I call it, a little container full of clippings of paper and amphira and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of love this container. I bought this at Michael's. It's nothing fancy. It's just a plastic container, but it's like a 12 by 12 size for scrapbooking. So it's really large. It's perfect for when I have some scrapbook papers to throw in here. And this is where I've been keeping, I have a couple magazines in here, and I have some, just all sorts of clippings and things. So I went through this to work on my vision board. And if you just have magazines around the house, like, just use that. I don't know if you hoard paper or catalogs or things like that the way I sometimes do. I can get a little out of hand. But if you have any of that stuff lying around, or if you're a scrapbooker and you have paper lying around or any of that kind of stuff, just flip through it and think about your year and how you want to feel and grab things that feel that way. Sorry, got a phone call coming in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip you guys down if you want to just check out my vision boarding. I'm gonna move you from one, I can't believe I have 2 tripods. I went from nothing to 2. I'm gonna move you from one tripod to this other one so that we're face down on my see if I can get my light in a little closer. All right. So I can't see you guys anymore if you leave any comments at this point. But I'll take a look afterwards and write back. Maybe I can sit up a little bit. So these are all the things that I pulled out. My word is light, and I love the, feathers are light as a feather, lightness of being. I pulled out a bunch of, this is one of my favorite types of light, is just the sunshine and looking up through the trees and seeing all the light in there, so that's why I grabbed that. Lots of words. Radiate positive vibes. I think I'm going to cut this one. I don't know if I want to cut it out or just glue it. Oh, and I'm just putting this on top of, I'm just using magazines, papers. I'm using some, glue stick, nothing fancy. And this is just a piece of cardboard I cut from a box, which we probably all have boxes lying around from the holidays somewhere. But this is something I like to do, is just making small little focused vision boards, like for a specific thing. I just cut it out, and then sometimes I will write on the back too if I want to leave myself a little message. Maybe I'll put this one sort of right in the middle. Oh, I grabbed this glue from my kids' room, and it is just about done. So I'm gonna have to go get another glue stick. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Okay, I got a new one. So you never know why things you pick out, you know. For this particular piece, I just really liked the colors, and I liked that it was painting brushstrokes on top of a picture. I think I'm going to cut this guy out a little bit more. I'm so happy to finally get in here today. I actually, for the last 3 days, I've been meaning to jump on here and do my little vision boarding with you guys. And yeah, it just wasn't working out. Partly because I went back to work this week, and I'm tired by the end of the day. And sometimes I work really late, which I guess that would be okay to come in here kind of late, but it's usually quiet and everyone's sleeping. And ooh, I like these little peacock feathers. I don't know where I want to put them yet. Well, maybe you go here, actually. So I was like, how do I fill up that space? Need something right there. Perfect. And I show it with no really rhyme or reason. I didn't lay this out beforehand. I'm just sort of figuring it out as I go, because to me, it's the process, it's the choosing of the words and the images, more so than the overall aesthetic of it. Although I do like to try and fill it up in a way that that I like and that feels pleasing. That one's a sticker, and it's got the moonlight and the sunlight. These guys. Before I glue anything more down, I'm gonna cut this here. So I'm just gonna spin this around so I can see where my cardboard ends. This way I could kind of trim that off and see where that ends. That feels better. not sure what I'm gonna write in there, but I think I'm gonna write something. Gets a little lost there. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna, oh, I like this one. Maybe I'll slide that in there. That feels better. How's that? That's kind of fun. Got a low battery warning, which I do every time I do one of these things, so hopefully hopefully it doesn't cut me off. Now that I feel good about, ooh, look how that made a little triangle right there. I like that. See that triangle right there? I didn't mean to do that. I think the triangle pointed down like that is feminine power? I'm not sure. Is it the triangle up that's feminine and the triangle down masculine, or vice versa? I'll have to figure that out. If anyone knows, let me know. found these little I'm going to add these little stickers in there. Oh, if they stick. Well, maybe they won't. Oh, has it been blurry the whole time? Well, there we go. Sorry about that, maybe the movement. But there we go so far. I have some stickers over here that I am looking to add to this little guy here. And this one's kind of a biggie for me. I have a hard time, which I'm sure a lot of us do, with feeling like I am enough and I am worthy. So that one feels like a good one. And then, oh, this one, I wonder if that will fit in there. I like the I am light. Nope, that's okay. I'll save that for something else. I do have another feather here. I feel like I want to add. Hey, Dawn. Are you still here? I'm so excited to see you later. This is kind of cute. I am enough. I am simply me. Right? Woohoo! So there is my word of the year vision board. And then because I did this on cardboard, I can always write something on the back here. I'll show you guys. I had done this one last year sometime for abundance and for some security with money, and that is what I did on the back. Is just wrote myself a little saying, a little reminder, a little mantra, and had this on my front, and then I just put it on my desk with a simple frame. Not really a frame, a stand, I should say. It's like a picture stand. Super easy, but it sits there. So there we go. I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday or whatever day it is that you're watching this. And I hope it inspires you to spend a little time with your left and your right brain working on your word of the year. All right, lots of love to you. See you all soon.